about White's church because she lived in the late 1890s as a young girl. She was born in 1887, I believe, looked on the family history. And Faye lived down here in Rustburg, but she remembers White's church even back in the late 1800s. She talks about her mother, who married Thomas Moorman Jr., and she talks about White's church in her book that she published back in '74. After they were married, Mother joined the little white church on Ward's Road known as White's Church, which the Moorman family had always attended. This place of worship had been built many years before by two of our ancestors who had been Quakers. They had been turned out of the church because they fell in love with and married girls who were Methodists. And so they decided to build a sanctuary of their own halfway between the homes of the two young couples. The homes were miles apart, but distance was not insurmountable. The little building was made of good timber with wide boards in the floors and the walls and the ceilings of the church. Small pointed windows with many panes. There was a gallery for slaves and hand-hewn pews and a hand-hewn railing around the raised platform on which stood the pulpit and the communion table. Inside the railing was a built-in bench all the way around, and outside the railing to the right and left of the pulpit, two long benches were arranged in what were called the Amen corners. Years later, when it was no longer the custom for happy Methodists to respond to prayers and to the sermon with ferocious amens, these benches were used by those who had been attending the church the longest, or by those who had new clothes to display. You'll find Faye has a lot of humor in this, right? There was a little ring organ that was installed, and Faye's mother would be the organist. And she remembers sitting around her mother watching her play the organ, and it was a pump organ, so her feet were constantly moving rhythmically. She also remembers there being a sandbox under the stove. There was a stove somewhere in the church here, and that's how they heated this sanctuary. It was a wood stove. And she said there was a sandbox under the stove for safety against fire, and the men who sat near the organ to help with singing used the sandbox as a spittoon. Well, the organ was on the ladies' side of the church, the spittoons were on the men's side. So the men was in the choir to make everybody. She told how the church in the beginning was had the aisle down the front. But her mother was used to going to a different church where there was no aisle in the center, and there were aisles on each side, and the men sat on one side and women sat on the other, and never the two mixed. That was the custom, she said, that her mother told us about at Prospect Church, where she grew up, where her mother grew up. And she writes this, there the couples went to church together, but parted at the entrance, one going up one aisle and one up the other, then managing to get seats next to the partition wall that separated the men's side from the women's side of the church. White's had a middle aisle, which was far more satisfactory. She describes the church having all-day meetings on the grounds with dinner, and that's the way revivals were used to be held, and they were held for weeks at a time. Also, quarterly conferences, she writes, were held at different times of the church, and all the churches of the area would come together for charge conference, and they read their reports, came for the sermon, and then the dinner and fellowship, which happened. The church was 4 miles from home. We went all kinds of weather, sometimes in the wagon because of bad roads. But usually, though, Mother and the little ones would go in the buggy, and Paul and several of the older ones would ride horseback. Sometimes Paul took one of us on the horse with him. Sister and I often rode the same horse. She in the saddle with me on a folded blanket behind her, my arms around her waist. broad horse block and plenty of small trees to which the horses could be tied. Mother told us with glee at the time when one of Paul's sweethearts had come to the church on horseback, wearing a dress with hoop skirts. Ladies, I hope you know what hoop skirts were back then. She had disdained the horse block dismount on and had tried to jump gracefully to the ground, but the bottom hoop of her skirt caught on the pommel of the side saddle, and she hung suspended until two willing men lifted her up while a third fed her from the pommel. Paul sat and listened while Mother told this, and he closed his eyes and pretended he was asleep. Mother laughed with so much delight, however, that he grinned, but he wouldn't open up his eyes. And Mother teased and said, "You certainly kept your eyes open when that girl was hanging on the saddle." We had other exciting times at church. Sometimes when we took out dinner with us, Mother, who would put the food in a big basket and the baby in another. One day, Cousin Carly Moorman came to help us out of the buggy. And before we knew it, what he was doing, he had set both the dinner and the baby on the long picnic table. Children's Day at the church was a great day. It came once a year. And we had to appear on the program with recitations, songs, speeches, drills, and marches. We would practice for weeks, and grown-ups and children both would be weary and worn out by the time the day arrived. But we would not have missed it for the world. On one occasion, the little folks had to line up, each repeat a verse, poem about a flower. Mary was sent out to get a spray of some plant with quick price. We were to have real flowers on the big day. Anything will do for rehearsal, the teacher told her. Anything will do. So unnoticed by the teacher, she picked bunches of poison oak and gave each child a spray. The rehearsal went on, and when Sunday morning came, there were breaches in the ranks. Faye closes with this. My life seemed no different. I felt just as I had before. This was after she had joined the church. It made me wonder if I really had become a child of God without benefits of the mourner's bench. But my fears were removed, and I felt better later, when I found there was no virtue